age of 53. So something about me which is very, very special. I had to deal with for most of my life with a very severe speech impediment, stuttering. I was only able to speak about 15, 20 words a minute. And since retirement, I have been able to overcome this stutter, and I'm back in Toastmasters for a total of 25 years. I've spoken in Las Vegas, which was one of the greatest uh, events ever, because that's what scared the living daylights out of me. But it was a challenge I went forward with, and it was a highlight of my overcoming my speech impediment.
Wow,
Don,
that's amazing.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, no,
Yeah, Don.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So Don, how did you do that? This is Sean
Well,
Callaghan again. Like, how did you, after all those years, what was the work that you did to create that breakthrough?
I guess my speech impediment was just a different kind of a stutter, and so I went through a lot of different types of therapy, and it all helped. And then a technology which I picked up in about 2002 was a technology called Speech Easy, which was a lot like a hearing aid, but I heard myself with a bit of a time delay, and I heard myself similar to a Mickey Mouse. So that did help, but I still didn't have the total confidence. And then when I had retired, I joined the group called the Real Estate Investors Network, and which was just a great organization. That wasn't until January of 2012 when I met a fellow by the name of Richard Dolan, and I got him to be one of my mentor coaches. And that was the start of getting me back in stage, back in Toastmasters. And it's just been a beautiful ride ever since. And there's a lot of little details which maybe I can get into later, but it's just I'm never giving up and just keep on moving ahead and forward and being persistent, I guess.
Well, congratulations. That's super inspirational, and it's a pleasure, Don. Nick, Richard, back to you, gentlemen.
All right. Well, let's call on the lovely Trina Burgess to share.
Hi, I'm Trina Burgess. Richard and I met so many years ago at Real Estate Investment Network, and yeah, I haven't been a part of that for a while, but it was fun back in the day, and I'm still into real estate investing. I'm doing. I'm living in Lethbridge now. Used to live way up north in northern Alberta, where Richard in the dark recesses of the snowy north. But now I'm down in sunny southern Alberta, and I have 4 kids too. So I hear you, Michelle, and they're wonderful. Well, at least some of them, right? No. I love my kids, and I love what you guys are doing in terms of being heart-centered. I watched one of the videos. Don't really know what's going on other than the video that I watched. Richard has given me like next to zero details, so I'm excited, and I love the heart that you guys are sharing and the amazing things you're doing in the world. One thing that's really important to me is it's always connecting with people has always been really important to me. And recently I listened to a talk of a guy that talked about follow-up and how it's really, the change comes in the follow-up. And so that's something that I've been working on, just to follow up with people. And God has brought me people into my life that have just, people who have been amazing for me, but also people who have helped me or need something from me that I can help them. And just, it's really important for me to be able to follow up with people and keep in connection with people. Fun fact about me, I have a bunny. It's not my bunny, but I have a daughter who has a bunny. That's kind of fun, so that's fun.
Trina, your heart is present, your faith is present, and your energy is a gift to everything we're doing here. So thank you so much. And maybe Nick, it might be a good time to drop in and share a little bit about like what we're up to and what this is and what your experiences were this weekend.
Yes.
Thank you, Sean, for that opportunity. And yes, Trina, your heart is very present. And, you know, as I was sort of explaining before we got on the call, like what we really, like what I was a part of this weekend was truly anchoring in on a indispensable element in sales, in life, called love. Well, unconditional love with boundaries and in integrity, and like how important it is to hold that space of presence and heart so that we can actually truly see people for who they truly are, and to really open up that level of listening from that place of love, that unconditional love. And so thank you, Trina, for your heart and sharing about how important connection is. And like you, like my story is like, you know, I'm 9.5 years sober, and I believe, just like you do, that God puts people in your life for a reason. Like I got sober so that I could be a part of what I just experienced this last weekend. So amen to God putting the right people in our life. And so thank you, and really a great pleasure to have you here.
And thank you, Trina.
And everyone.
Yeah. And Nick and everyone. And so just drop it in a little bit. You know, that heart-centeredness, unfocused at the same time, becomes, you know, like the Summer of Love in 1969 and like Woodstock and Haight-Ashbury, which sort of like are a beautiful idea, and they kind of make a hard right-hand turn to things that don't necessarily become productive. So to impact the world, to feed the hungry, to free people from sexual slavery, to support blind people in becoming employed, it takes structure. So that heart-centeredness is like the opening of listening, and then we stop in and we make things happen. So my name is Sean Callaghy. I am the founder of this formula and process, and the co-founder of Unblinded, which is what, you know, runs the Real Raw. And what we're doing is we're supporting people in becoming influencers, but not influencers like with how many social media followers you have, but people of true influence making things happen. And just for credibility moments, I've had the privilege of, I own a 125 person law firm with offices in 5 states in the US. I've had the privilege of speaking on stages across the country and the world on the topics of influence. And I believe that influence is one of the great mysteries of our world. And there's a science behind how all this works. So it's a heart-centered science and knowing what to do with it. And that's what changes how much money people make, how much time freedom they have, and how much magic they have in their life. And I don't mean to put money like over heart-centeredness. You know, my grandparents never made more than $25,000 in a year. And they were some of the wealthiest people imaginable because of the magic and the love they created for their family, right? So this isn't just about money, but it's about freedom. But my grandmother still had to work at night as a realtor in Jersey City to raise her 5 kids because my grandfather was blind, as I am. And at the same time, you know, that's the stock I came from. I'm financially free, and I want to teach, despite the fact that I'm blind, I have crazy fun, go in the ocean, surfing hurricanes, you know, ski double black diamonds. And the spirit of what we're doing here is that heart-centered love that Nick was talking about, and opening connection, and then like dropping in and making incredible things happen in the world. So with that said, Nick, back to you.
Thank you, Sean. And it is my pleasure to introduce to this group the man with all the vibe up in the room, Mr. David Peacock.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. And Don, I love that story there, buddy. Overcoming fear that way. It's beautiful. But yeah, my name is David Peacock, living in Toronto, Ontario. Right now I'm doing mindset coaching and also building iBoomerang, which is a network marketing company. And then a fun fact about me would be, I just absolutely love playing soccer. That's my go-to. That's my sport, playing soccer. So thank you for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity.
Amazing. David, what's your favorite position in soccer?
Striker.
Boom, making goals happen. And how'd you get into the world of mindset?
It was actually Bob Proctor who I came across about 3 years ago, and everything he said just resonated, and I just took off from there.
Well, thanks for being here and welcome. And quick fun fact for me is my significant other is from Canada and just sold her place in Toronto last week. So yeah. So Olaf from Toronto to Toronto. Thank you.
There you go.
Richard.
Thank you, Sean. Hey, let's take this great opportunity for a man that took me out in the wilderness, climbed up glaciers, blew up a boat and floated down a river. Let's bring on Mr. Michel Lafleur.
Thank you, Richard. You kind of stole my fun fact. I was going to say, I had the pleasure of getting you out of your comfort zone last year. So my name is Michel Lafleur, and I'm calling from Edmonton, Alberta. I'm, I guess, one of the number who presumably met Richard through the Real Estate Investment Network. I guess maybe another fun fact, Richard's character is big enough that I was actually told that there was a knight in Grande Prairie and was introduced to him as Sir Richard. That was probably 10 years ago now. But anyway, so Richard and I are still friends. You know, what I'm up to, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and I'm a realtor based in Edmonton. So that's kind of what we're up to. And yeah, fun fact is I really love the outdoors, and I got to go with Richard.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing that you've ever done in the outdoors?
I've got a lot of them. So last year's trip was epic. I can go on for hours about that. We have climbed glaciers. I've kind of slid down cliffs, which we were supposed to be climbing up. And I've actually been out on a trip where Stars was out to look for me, and we made it out before Stars found us. So that's kind of fun.
Wow. Well, that's awesome, and welcome. And it sounds like that's an incredible group of people you have at that Real Estate Investor Network. So thanks for being here, man.
For the American, Stars is the helicopter search team.
That is fun. So that is definitely resonating. So we'll have to talk about what these crazy people did with us this weekend and see if you guys would be down for that. I'm sure with all the outdoor adventure energy, it would truly resonate. But Nick and Richard, back to you.
Yeah. So next on our list is the bold, beautiful, badass Michelle. And I just have to say that she is so beautiful and badass that I think my first very interaction with you, you might have caused me to take my shirt off and start dancing with you. So, you know, there you go. That's how amazing you are.
Those abs. It's true. I am Michelle Echebarren, CEO and founder of Attorneys in Motion. Not only did I create the Uber for lawyers and their court appearances, but I did so as a single mother of 4 kids with limited resources and hardly anything, and have since grown that into a nationwide company of over 7,500 lawyers. In addition to that, I am a rock star super connector. My fun fact, I could drive a stick shift by the time I was 8, and Sean, boom, under 30 seconds.
Boom. Michelle, you are unleashing your greatness on the world. And we want to tell some of these fine folks in an extra few seconds what you did as a straight up lunatic somewhere around midnight on Sunday night.
Oh, you must be talking about jumping into hurricane water, 25, 30 mile an hour wind, Atlantic Ocean, where I was torn apart everybody was torn apart and swirling around and being tossed and turned in the water. It was like a washer machine.
Yeah, just like that. And how was that for you, Michelle? Were you happy when you got out? Were you happy you did it?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? It was so invigorating. I was afraid to go in, not because the water. I didn't realize the water was as violent as it was. I don't think any of us knew it until we stepped foot and were just like immediately thrown around like rag dolls.
Yeah, I think violent is the operative word. Michelle, rock star introduction. Great job. So thankful for you being here. And yeah, see you soon. Nick and Richard.
All right, a wonderful individual. Ari, if you could be so kind and give us an opportunity to introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Richard. Hi, everybody. My name is Ari. I am in Portland, Oregon. I'm an acupuncturist. And I met Richard just very recently, and he was very kind to let me on. And one fun fact about me is that I have been a singer, vocalist, lyricist for many years, and I'm incorporating that into the health coaching that I'm giving clients in order to enable them to get connected to themselves, to nature, to spirit. Thank you.
Welcome, Ari.
All right, looks like we've introduced all our lovely guests, and now we just have Nick and Richard that have not introduced ourselves, but we can intertwine that now or later, whatever you choose.
Yeah,
to.
yeah, please. Yeah, share your greatness, man. So
wonderful.
Richard, yeah, please.
All right, well, thank you so much, Sean, for that great opportunity. I'm Richard Martyn, and I'm as you can see, I've got so many wonderful individuals in my life. Don, I've known for quite a long time. When I first knew him, man, this touches me. When he went from stuttering to where he is today, how powerful he is, and he's in front of Toastmasters and transforming people's world. He's an example where I want to be, to break through a bunch of this stuff that I'm going through. So why am I here in Unblinded? Is to get better at being me, to be heart-centered. A fun fact for me, Sean likes to bug me about this, but I don't know, 270-pound bench press last week.
Awesome, brother.
Going for 300 by the end of the month. Don't tell Sean that, he'll get in trouble.
Oh man, dude, we got to put that on Facebook Live, Richard. When you're going for that, I want on Facebook Live. Fair deal?
Sure. Nick will be there to support me on that.
Let's create some leverage. Let's create some leverage. Nick, what do you think? Should Richard be on Facebook Live going for the 300-pound bench press?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you should be, Richard. Shirt off too, please. Please.
Yeah. Please, yes. And Nick, who are you, sir? You're amazing.
Yes, thank you, Sean. My name is Nick Knutzen. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I am a guiding chef. For me, food is the bridge to heart-centered connection. And what I do is I teach people how to cook more optimally, more healthy, to be more in themselves when they cook, so that when they sit down at the dinner table with their loved one, it can be more ritualized. And I'm just in the world to connect, to provide, and nourish. So fun fact about me is that I'm personally allergic to anything like a t-shirt or anything. So I don't like clothes. If I didn't have to live my life with clothes on, I would be a really happy individual. So.
All right. Nick, the Naked Adventurer Chef and Coach. Has that as your new, we're gonna call you Naked Nick. Is that cool from now on? Your new nickname?
Naked Nick is good, yeah.
All right. Naked Nick has been born. Oh, awesome job. Quick fun fact for me. I'm a blind guy that just taught a blind guy not only to surf, but how to win a carnival game, like spinning a ball backwards into a bucket and won on his first try. And that I was bumped by a shark 4 weeks ago. And you guys don't know this, Michelle, Nick, Richard, and these fine folks. Just yesterday, you may have heard it yesterday. I had a dolphin explode out of the water and jump out of the water exactly where Nick and Michelle were this weekend while I was surfing, and jump out of the water right next to me. It was one of the most epic moments of my entire life in nature. And I've had a bunch. It was absolutely incredible. So, hey, I'm Sean, and let's rock and roll with the Real Raw. So who's going to go first, today, Richard? And then I'll explain what we're doing.
All right, well, let's see who Candace is looking like she would like to take this opportunity.
Yeah, I heard ready? Truth or Dare floating in the ether. So Truth or Dare equals going first on the Real Raw. Candace, you up for that?
I'm sorry, what's that? I missed that.
Yes, I said I heard Truth or Dare was somewhere in your fun fact. Is that correct?
No, I talked about running into a bear.
Oh, I'm sorry, running into a bear. Who talked about Truth or Dare?
Oh, and then I started yelling and I was screaming at the bear and I said Marco Polo.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marco Polo. Forgive me.
Okay.
So yes, well, if you're playing Marco Polo with a bear, that is akin to Truth or Dare for me. And would you be up for going first?
Yes, I will go first, but I don't know what we're doing.
Yes, I will explain. So okay. What the Real Raw is all about is about unlocking the superpower of us going from hello to yes. And it's mysteries and the science behind it. And so we start with hey, where you are and what's happening. And our judges, which I think are Nick and Michelle for today, are going to give some feedback. And this has been the study of my life for the last 23 years. It's enabled me to create some very unique outcomes. I'm one of only 2 attorneys in the United States that have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 16. I spoke on stage at Tony Robbins events 7 of the last 8 times and created some very unique outcomes in raising money for charity from stage, in sales from different stages. And I've spoken personally, I've publicly spoken 100 times in the last 30 days. Yeah, and I have a 125-person law firm, et cetera, et cetera. Those outcomes have been because of unlocking the superpower of heart-centered, integrous influence and what to do with it. And just to be clear, I've made more mistakes in that space than you can imagine, and I continue to make mistakes in that space. But heart-centered, integrous influence is about shifting the numbers and the creation of relationships. So yeah, like Richard will be anybody that you want him to be, I guess, or Nick. And it's about going from hello to yes. So what, Candace, would be a big, who would you be seeking a yes from in the world? They could be themselves. They could be an ideal client for you. They might be an ideal strategic partner for you. Anybody that you want, right? To go from hello to yes with, but it doesn't have to be the ultimate sale. This isn't like Boiler Room or Wolf of Wall Street. It could just be a 3-minute encounter to get to a 15-minute or 30-minute meeting beyond that. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So who would you like to go with, Nick or Richard, and who would you like them to be?
I don't have a preference between Nick or Richard. I'd like them to be a woman. My clients are women, and I want them to get into, I am doing a lot of clarity calls to get them into my intuitive coaching academy. So usually they have done some work with me, or they know who I am, and they have done some modalities. They've done some training. They're either a Reiki master or a healer, energy worker, massage therapist, that type of thing.
Got it. Okay. So would you work with somebody that hasn't done any of those things yet? And let's say you ran into them at a speaking engagement that you did, and they're like, hey, you know, I own like a company in California. I work with lawyers. Do you think you could help me? Would that be somebody that you would work with or no?
That would be somebody I would probably shy away from, but that doesn't mean I'm open to that though.
All right. So then we'll make, how about this? Would you like Richard Martyn to be a female massage therapist?
Well, I think I kind of like your challenge of him being a male lawyer.
All right. So let's drop in. So Richard, would you like to be a male attorney? And we'll give Candace a fun challenge.
Yeah, that would work fine for me.
All right. So do you want him to be a female attorney or a male attorney?
A male would be a bigger challenge for me for sure.
All right. So Richard, male attorney.
No.
Candace, you have 3 minutes, and you'll hear an alarm go off with 1 minute to go, 30 seconds to go, and time up. Please take us in. Like Richard just walked on up and said, I was amazed by you, and take it from there.
Okay. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Candace.
So you were amazed by my talk? Is that what we're saying? I'm sorry. Is that what he just said you were saying?
Yeah, I was absolutely amazed by it. I was profound.
Thank you. Thank you. So what part really resonated with you from my talk?
Well, what really resonated with me was in regards to actually well, to be honest, the tenderness of it, the down-to-earth loving side of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. My work is really about following our intuitive guidance. And when we follow our intuitive guidance, it opens up so many possibilities. And so many of us get our intuitive hits and choose to not follow that guidance. And instead we get stuck in jobs and careers and situations that just doesn't feed our soul.
I can so relate to that because I mean, we're always in this go hard, play hard, lawyers, you know, because you know that's the way it is. We have to follow the law, but I mean, we're not in touch with each other in our firm, and I'm saddened by that.
Is that something that you would see as a possibility in a law firm?
Well, I've got a lot of high ego people in our office, and even the females are very high ego, and you know, I would like to find an avenue to bring it into the office, as I think we would connect a lot better. There's so many issues going on.
Yeah, and I feel that when we're in touch with our intuition, we can make decisions quicker, and we can have more confidence. And it doesn't sound like that's what is an issue in the office, but at the same time, it would be a little bit more heart-centered and be a little bit more compassionate with each other.
Yeah, that compassion would really interest me, because I mean, Friday afternoons, it's when the office closed, we go into the boardroom and we just pull out the liquor cabinet. I much rather pull out the yoga mats and other things to get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. My background is I started out with a degree in social work, and then I became a yoga therapist and then a chakra therapist. And now I've moved into intuitive coaching. But yeah, absolutely, that we find so many distractions for our feelings, emotions, right? And we go to alcohol and busyness and all of our addictions, right? As opposed to going into and really embracing our other ways of coping and new ways of coping.
Oh, fantastic! I'm excited. Let's get this happening.
Okay, let's make a meeting. Let's book a session or book a clarity call.
Awesome. Candace, that was a fantastic job. You have such great energy and congruence. How'd that feel for you?
Oh, felt stressful.
Yeah, where is the stress coming from?
I really enjoyed it because I totally wouldn't have even engaged. I would have felt that that's not my person.
Really? And again, if you don't mind sharing, why would that have not been your person? What would your story have been about that?
So my thoughts would have been that there would be too much ego driven, too much competition, and not being open to their intuition and open to other ways of coping with stress.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So, and if I could and this is like fun, is it okay if I ask one more question?
Yeah, for sure.
So how would that belief structure serve you in the beautiful and incredible work you're bringing to the world? Like, how would that presumption, that, preconceived notion, how would that support you and serve you?
It doesn't, it blocks it. It blocks the expansion that I really want, right? It's blocking that.
Yeah. Well,
I can
awesome.
see how it's blocking it.
Yeah. And thank you for your vulnerability and candor. So awesome job. Let's get to Michelle. Michelle, what 30 seconds do you have for Candace? Please.
Yes. I thought you did a great job. You expressed who her unique identity was right off the bat. You asked him what resonated with him, and created some scarcity and acknowledging that getting stuck in a job doesn't really feed your soul. And I think that helped build up that emotional connection. I would have just asked a few more questions when he mentioned about the liquor cabinet. I think that could have been like a good opportunity to ask, well, how do you think that your associates or your employees might feel about this? But you did circle back around eventually into in different words, substance abuse and hiding what your feelings are in substances. But I would have asked just a few more questions to open that up.
Awesome.
But you got the agreement at the end, so he's willing to sit down with you.
And how about a score, Michelle?
I'm gonna give her an 8.5.
Nice, awesome job. And Michelle, let me repeat, that was drop the mic, how you introduced yourself today. That was like phenomenal. So thank you for that. Nick, are you giving some feedback today?
Yes, I'm happy to give feedback. I'm going to try to keep us going here. So 30 seconds. Candace, A+ to step into that unconventional space for you. You did awesome, great energy. There was one moment in your conversation where you said, is this something that you would want in your office? That's a close-ended question. What would it look like to bring this into your office? Try to get closer to the lawyer's pain, right? That would give it access there. Awesome job, 8.5.
Nice job, Nick. Candace, excellent work. Richard, who do we have up next?
All right, let's take the opportunity and, hey, David, how do you feel about going next?
Do it.
All right.
So, yeah.
Who would you like me to be?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Who would you like me to be for you?
Yeah, I'll go with Nick, sure.
Okay. And you want him to be himself or somebody else, David?
Yeah, you can be yourself if you want, Nick.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Take us in, please.
Okay, so with the scenario being, let's say you're at a talk too, and then I'll just we'll go from there. Okay, at one of my seminars.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I just saw your seminar. Is that correct?
Yeah, we just
Okay.
had one. Yeah.
Got it.
Good to go.
Yep.
Perfect. Hey Nick, how's it going?
Hey, David. I'm good, man. How are you today?
I'm doing phenomenal, buddy. I'm doing really well. I saw you at my event there, at my seminar. What did you like most about it?
Yeah, David, thank you, man. What I loved about it was, the great energy that you guys had. I love like the intro of Boomerang and like the energy, the fun energy, like that was really present. That was awesome. And it just looks like you guys are really doing some awesome things in the network marketing space. Like it seems like there's some real opportunities. So that was interesting.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, is we're creating that energy, that synergy for our team and the people that we bring on and engage with. So what was the biggest takeaway for you?
Yeah, the biggest takeaway from me was, I think what it would be awesome, like to like have that, that passive income, like, your money working for you. And there's definitely like, I don't know if I quite have the full picture of how that would work, but like definitely like, that passive income model is really interesting to me. So yeah, that was probably my big takeaway. And I just think like, I love like what it is doing. It didn't seem like with the travel, like really trying to like maybe compete with the Ubers, the Lyft, and like having that be rewarding for me as a member was also super, super interesting.
I love the fact that you're ambitious about residual income, because that's honestly what excited me the most about this opportunity as well, because we know that our bills are residual, so why not have a residual source of income as well, right? So let me ask you this. What kind of residual would you like to be earning on a monthly basis?
Wow, if I could get an extra like $2,000 a month, just passively, like that would make a huge difference.
Perfect.
Huge difference.
Yeah, that's something we can show you how to do for sure, right? We'll come up with a game plan depending on how much time you want to put forth, right? Because it doesn't have to be a full-time opportunity. It's just the time that you want to put in. We'll come up with a perfect game plan for you to go ahead and do that and make sure that you're successful in that.
Awesome. Well, David, would it be okay if we set up a call to discuss this further?
Of course. Let's set up a time that'll work. How's Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 4?
Thursday 4 looks great, brother. Thank you so much for the follow-up call, and I hope you have a great day.
You too, buddy.
All right.
Awesome job, David. How'd that feel for you?
Felt pretty good. I was actually when I first started, I was gonna go with the mindset route, but then Nick brought the boomerang into it, so we had to do a little switch there.
Yeah, good for you, man. Awesome. Very congruent, just like a lot of certainty there. So Richard, what'd you have for David?
Quick feedback for you, David, is I loved how you had the opening questions. They were short and sweet. A couple spots where Nick was sharing about passive income and you came in and used the word residual income. You'll find that if you mirror the passive income, then you're speaking his language, because he may not know what residual income is, but he didn't reveal that. And then when he revealed, yeah, I'd like to earn about $2,000 or $2,000 a month, it would be really cool that if you related to $2,000, because you jumped into a game plan. Hey, let's work on a game plan. So those things would really help out. Well done, David. I give you definitely an 8 on that one.
Excellent, Richard. Michelle, what do you have for David?
I echo a lot of exactly what Richard just said. There was a moment where Nick said that he wasn't really clear on some of the things that you had talked about, and I thought that was like a good opportunity for you to ask him what it was he wasn't clear about. And well, Nick, you kind of made the agreement formation at the end, asking him if he could meet with you, and didn't give him the opportunity to solidify that with you. But that's just Nick just took David's job at the end.
He just wanted it that bad. That's all.
He did. He did. Maybe he was trying to get that clarity.
So what'd you have for a score, Michelle?
I'm going to go 8.8.
Awesome job. Excellent, Michelle. Great job. David, Richard, who is next, sir?
Sean, can I just add just a real quick note into?
Yeah, of course.
So David, like when I gave a number 2K, I think it's a great access point. Like, what would that really give you? Like, really help me see like what that's going to give me. So.
Absolutely. Great job, Nick, for sure. So Richard.
All right, Ari, let's take you the opportunity, please.
Okay. Yeah, I can work with you, Richard, and I would like for you to be somebody who kind of helps healers like develop their business.
Awesome. Take us in, Ari, please.
Hey, Richard. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing incredible. Thanks, Ari.
Great. So, so I wanted to talk about my model of what I'm trying to build, and to see if you might be interested in helping.
Oh, definitely. What would that model be?
Great. Well, so right now, I'm noticing that that people are more than ever feeling disconnected from themselves and from their environment and from their higher purpose. Do you notice that in the people around you?
Disconnected from themselves, yes. Disconnected from the higher purpose, I'm not too sure what you mean by that, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, my goal is to try to help people get more connected in all ways, and because everything is connected, right? Spiritual and mental, emotional, physical. So I'm trying to use my my talents to help people gain that connection.
Oh, okay, perfect. So what would those talents be?
Well, there's acupuncture, there's energy work, there's physical work. I'm looking to create immersive experiences for groups as well, and I also want to help teach people to tap into their own self-expression via the modality of singing.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool. I felt like a pincushion as soon as you said acupuncture. Holy smokes!
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you have some experience with that modality?
I thought about it, but being a pincushion just kind of scares me.
Oh yeah. Well, we have a lot of things we can do for patient comfort. There's techniques where the needles don't actually even have to be inserted through the skin. So, yeah. So I have all these ideas, and I'm just kind of looking for a little bit of guidance as to how to most effectively combine everything into a package for clients. So that's where I am right now.
All right. Well, that sounds quite interesting. What would you want to do about it?
Well, I would love if we could set up a time to talk more in depth.
All right, let's do it.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Richard.
All right, great job, man. How'd that feel for you?
It felt a little bit uncomfortable in a fun way. Yeah.
Cool. And what was the discomfort, like the uncomfortableness? Where is it coming from?
The challenge of not difficulty kind of fully explaining myself, both to Richard and, to be honest, to myself in life as well. The kind of imposter syndrome.
Air fist bump, big hugs. That is an awesome breakthrough. We talk a lot here about the fact that there is no failure, there is no rejection, but those are stories that have been deeply conditioned into us. So we'll chat a little bit more about that later. Great job, Ari. Thank you for that openness. Michelle, what do you have for Ari?
Ari, I mean, it's hard to get up here and get everything into 3 minutes. You got through everything that I think that you were trying to express. There was some uncertainty in there. It took you a little bit too long to like get him to like some of the techniques that you use. I might have found a way to incorporate that in more smoothly at the beginning. He said he wasn't clear on what you meant. That could have left. That was I think what that was the acupuncture, leaving you an opportunity to ask a question. But he waited for him to say something. You did acknowledge his fear of needles, which was good. I would have also presented it with just a little bit more high excitement energy, like you're really excited about what you're doing and helping people. It's thrilling and exhilarating to you. So I would have just put a little more of that into it as well.
Awesome, Michelle.
And I'm going to give you an 8.
All right, Michelle, thank you. And Nick, what do we have?
Yeah, Ari, no doubt that this is a strange situation to step into. So I just want to say, you did awesome. And what I would love to see you really tap into, I know you're a singer. I know you've got that soul, that heart, like just anchor in on that before you make that call or be in this space. There was a great opportunity when he's like, oh, like Richard asked, like, what would this model look like? And you could like kind of not jump into that frame and answer it just then. Like, this model can do this, but first let me ask you about X. So keep opening up his level of listening. And then at the end, you can drop in all of your amazingness, your heart, and your soul. So I'm going to give you a 7.5.
Excellent. Great job, Ari. Thank you for that great feedback. Nick Richard, who is up?
All right, Mr. Don Ronsom, are you ready?
Yes, I am, sure.
All right. Who would you like, Nick or myself to be?
I would think, how about yourself?
Okay, what would you like me to be?
Okay. I'm going to be launching my first podcast on Tuesday, and you are going to be a guest on my podcast. Just to background on my podcast, the title is Don Rosum Speaks. All the guests and topics will be on overcoming fear, obstacles, and adversity.
Yeah. Hey, Don, if I could, that sounds awesome. How about if you're going from hello to yes with Richard about him coming on the podcast? Would that be good?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of, like, wait, what is this and what's happening? So give you a great chance to profile your podcast and how you're going to have guests say yes to you. Sound good?
Great. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. All right. 3 minutes. Jump in.
Hey, hi, Richard. How are you doing?
Hey, Don, I'm doing incredible. Thank you for asking.
Great. Have you heard of my new podcast, which I'm going to be launching on Tuesday?
Yeah, so I received a message from you that you're looking for people to come in.
Okay. All my topics are going to be on the topic of overcoming fear, obstacles, and adversity. Is this something that you would be interested in being a guest on one of my shows?
Fear? To come on the podcast to talk about fear? Did I hear you right?
Yes, you did. Yes, we all have fears and obstacles of some kind in our life. So,
okay, Don. Tell me more.
Okay. Well, I guess what my plans are is to keep it just a fun conversational type of podcast and a conversation. So I'm interested in guests who are open to share fears and obstacles that we all might have. And then once you would open up with a fear, I would be asking more deeper questions as to how you handle fears, what you all did. Is this something which would be of value and interest to you as well to anyone who's going to be listening to my podcast?
Hmm. Don, I'd be interested if, I guess I could easily talk about the fear of being on stage doing a dance performance. I mean, that's what I'd love to share, how to get over that fear.
Okay, sure. Because we all have fears. Might be scared of the dark, fears of spiders, and just as any special event that you might be able to share with us, which will help listeners overcome maybe their fear of something that you have experienced in your life, will always be helpful.
That's quite intriguing. I think if I could relate it to something that I am fearful in my life that I've overcome, I would say that would interest me. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. So what I always plan on doing is to is to look ahead two or three podcasts
30 seconds.
ahead of time. Is this going to work for you?
Yes, this is going to work for me. Let's set it up and let's get it organized.
Okay. What I would do first is to send to you just an outline of the show, and maybe just a brief description of how you would like me to introduce you to the show, and possibly some of the questions that I might be asking, and those are just some examples, which we would be digging like a little deeper.
That's incredible, Don. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome job, Don. How'd that feel for you?
Well, okay, sure, good.
Yeah, but all the best with the podcast. I'm super intrigued and very inspired by everything that you've done. So great job. Nick, what do you have for Don?
Yeah, Don, love the idea, love the concept of the podcast, and definitely good luck with that. All the best with that. I would love for you to really try to ask more questions, really try to, almost get Richard to frame his story. And then at the end, you could say, well, wouldn't you like to share that with the world? And you can do so on my podcast, because you're contacting Richard because he's overcome some fears. So lead him to that water and then give him that opportunity to drink when you have that invitation. So I'm going to give you a 7.3.
Awesome. Michelle. Count down 25 seconds.
Dawn, wonderful job. Again, echoing what Nick just said, it would have been great to hear you ask some more questions. I would have just acknowledged who he is and why I'm contacting him in a very summarized way, just so he knows his significant role in your podcast. You had mentioned fear to him, and he was saying he sounded afraid of it, right? And you said, yes, we all have those obstacles. That was a perfect opportunity to open up to, is this a fear of speaking on a podcast? You could have opened that up to any question. You did, however, at the end, pull it all together, asking him for a time to come on. And so you got your agreement formation there at the end. Just ask more questions. I'm going to give you an 8.
Boom. Excellent job, Michelle. So Richard, quick thought. Thus far, we talk about head connecting or heart connecting. Just like as an overall assessment, have you been experiencing more head to head or heart to heart so far today from our amazing and courageous guests?
Our amazing, courageous guests have been exactly that. There's been a couple different areas, some areas that I definitely came from the heart and I was touched and pulled into that conversation. It was really encouraging. And then there was a little bit of the headspace going on. So I think we could probably get closer to our hearts here today by digging deeper.
Okay. So, and how many more fine folks do we have to go? So we might do a little demonstration for a minute, but yeah, how many more participants?
We have 4 more wonderful opportunities.
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep driving. So who's next?
All right, Trina. Unmute. Oh, 5, 4. Oh, technical difficulty. There we are.
Lost my cursor, but I found my touch screen, so we're good.
Trina, so who would you like Richard to be?
It's all good. Okay, so heart-centered. Heart-centered. Let's do heart-centered investing. So
Oh.
I'm in real estate and I'm, let's see. Richard, you already invest in real estate. So how about I talk to Nick? Nick, I've been sending out emails and all about what I've just like catch up. You and I have connected. Richard's got all these. Maybe I should talk to Richard. Either one. But so somebody has, and so I've been sending out emails about catch up and this is what's going on. And here's some real estate investment things that I've been doing in the past. And so you have responded to my emails and you want more information about what I'm doing with real estate investing. Says my internet connection is unstable. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let's take it in with Nick. So good. Nick is there. You had 3 minutes. Trina, great job. Take us in.
Hi, Nick. How are you doing?
Hi, Trina. I'm doing very, very well today. How are you?
I'm so good. It is so fun to reconnect with you. Thank you for sending me your story about your amazing, the amazing things you've been doing with your food. It's so exciting to me to hear how you are connecting with people through helping them create beautiful food spaces. It's such that we are what we eat, and I just really love that. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for that acknowledgement, and yes, I'm also very excited to be connected with you as well. So you're doing also some really amazing things out there, and just yeah, I'm curious to learn more.
Absolutely. So so I just wanted to ask you, Nick, like, what is your experience with real estate investing?
0 to none.
0 to none. Okay. And so, yeah. So what kind of, what draws you, what is your interest? Why are you interested in getting into real estate investing? What do you know about it?
Well, I don't know a great deal about real estate investing, but I'm just you asked me a question right before that, like, why am I interested? Well, you know, as an entrepreneur, I want to be financially wise. And my ultimate goal is to be financially free. And I want to be able to be an entrepreneur and support my someday family. You know, so like, you know, because life is going to have ups and downs. And so, yeah.
Okay, so you're looking to someday you want a family and you want to be able to support them. So what is that when you say financially wise? You want to be wise? What does that mean to you?
I think it means, Trina, just to not have all my eggs in one basket. And
Okay.
you know, I think what's really important for me is to like have those really important connections and relationships with the people doing really amazing things, helping me see things that I'm not seeing with my money.
Awesome. And what about financially free? Like, I love how you want to be wise with that, like diversified. That sounds really smart for you. Like you really care about protecting your family and making sure that you can provide for them. And so I think I'm out of time. So when can we talk about this more? I'd love to talk to you more about how we can make heart-centered investment choices that are win-win for investors and for the people that we're taking care of.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for this conversation. And how about next Friday at 1:15 p.m.?
Excellent job. Trina, you there?
I think she froze.
All right, so let's go right to feedback. Richard, what feedback do you have for Trina?
The feedback I had for Trina is she definitely was in her head quite a bit there.
I'm so excited to talk to you then.
All right.
I
So-
don't know, you.
So there was,
you girls.
okay, so there was definitely an opening when Nick had shared with the ups and the downs. There was a tone in his voice.
Mm.
And if you picked up on that, that was an opening for you to go in there and connect to his heart center. I
Right.
definitely give you a 7.8. Well done, Trina.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. And Michelle, what'd you have for Trina?
Trina, yeah, good job. I liked how you acknowledged Nick's love for food, and it just shows that you listened to some of the things that he liked. You did that double question in one, which leads to confusion. So the why was really important. When he said why, I think you could detect a little bit of like his pain source and needed to be financially wise. So good job on the matching. You use that word also, financially wise, and you didn't come back around to the what do you know, but that can be for another conversation. So you did take that into some other questions, like what is it about financial freedom that is important to you, and toward the end you got that agreement. Yeah, I mean, I could see that you were really trying to be in your heart, but nervous. So in your head on this too, I'm going to give you an 8.5.
All right. Excellent job, Michelle. Trina, great job. Richard, who's next?
Andy, let's call upon Andy.
Andy.
All right. I am here.
Andy, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'll speak with Richard since I know Nick, so I want to try and keep it fresh and mysterious because the nature of my work is I'm a creative studio specializing in brand identity, design, photo, and video. And so I'll have Richard be someone that saw my work and has a potential business that he's launching or project that he's launching that he is looking to bring visual identity to, but I don't know what that project is, and I don't know who Richard is. So
cool. All right,
yeah.
Andy, take us in, sir.
Yeah, how's it going, Richard? Thanks for reaching out.
Oh, it's going amazing. Thank you.
So tell me about your idea. What brings you to my services?
Well, I'm definitely this neon light shininess. I want to brand myself. I want to be noticed. I want to get my business out there.
Cool. So what is it that you do? Tell me a little bit more about what it is that you do. Tell me a bit. I'll leave it at that.
Well, one of the things I do is I look for real estate investors, and I'm also looking for people that want to sell their house, and I want to buy it creatively. So I'm looking for a way to attract their attention.
Cool. So is this something that you've already been operating in? How is your brand represented at the moment?
Well, right at the moment, it's just myself going, handing out business cards to people that sounds like they may want to try and sell their house.
Well, that's great. That's a great place to start. And yeah, having a visual identity to what it is that you do can really make that first impression of a business card and beyond so much more impactful to the client. There's a lot that we can communicate through the way that we present ourselves, and that can really, you're working in a very professional industry with a lot of money on the table, and so I would imagine that's really important. I have another question for you. What is it that what's your greatest passion in moving forward with this business? What is it that excites you about it?
Well, Andy, what really excites me is giving people a solution without having to write a $15,000 check to sell their house.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Yeah, I can absolutely get behind that. And the reason I ask is that in branding or in distinguishing what you do in a unique way, it's kind of my personal philosophy and ethos to really boil down what it is that you're excited about and that is coming from that heart space. Because no matter what, in the way that we visually express that, if we can really nail that, it's going to be unique and it's going to distinguish you in what you do. So essentially what I do is, as a creative, I have another ethos that I focus on co-creativity. So I'm not here to impose my style or my taste on to what you do. I'm here to learn about and align with your vision, and then enhance that through my skill sets and whatnot. So the next step would be to set up a meeting where we can have an ideation meeting where I learn more about what your idea is and what kind of aesthetic you might be going for. And so if that sounds good, I can get you on my calendar for sometime next week.
All right, let's do it. I'm interested.
Awesome. Thank you, Richard. Look forward to talking more.
Andy, how'd that feel for you?
Pretty good. I noticed, you know, I was in a position where I needed to improvise. I don't know a lot about real estate investments, but the nature of my business is that I transcend into many different industries. Creativity is pretty, and branding is pretty ubiquitous. So, so I noticed trying to listen and visualize the possibilities while also trying to like sell myself and my unique ethos and kind of universal ethos to what might appeal to Richard.
Yeah. So could we drop in real quick and just like try something out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So how about I'll be you and you be Richard, the real estate person.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay.
Sure.
So now let's think heart center. So, hey, Richard, really appreciate you taking the time. Can I just ask you, like, what prompted you to reach out?
Yeah, so I saw my friend who you did a project for, and I noticed how their brand, they now have a brand, and I realized, I looked at my business card and it just says my name, and I'm thinking about stepping it up a little bit and being a little more playful with how I present myself.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And I do know that you're in real estate investing. I know from the form that you filled out. So can I ask you this question though? You know, what's the vision? Like when you think about your future, you think about real estate investing, like what excited you? Like what brought your heart into it? And where do you see it all going?
Yeah, well, I feel as though real estate is something that, or even our living situation is such a core part of our lives, and it can also bring a lot of stress, a lot of financial hurdles. And through my services, I feel that I can help people build solutions on the assets that they live on. So I'm here to really help people while also helping them manage their part of their vital investments.
Yeah. So thank you. I hear you're caring for people. I hear the pain you're solving in the world. But what's this solving for you? You know, like ultimately, you have this everything you want. This all goes the way you want. What's this all about for you?
So it's something that real estate is something that my skill sets seem to align with, and I found through experience that it's something I'm good at, and so it empowers me to be in this professional position while also being able to connect with people on a really relatable level, which is where they live and the neighborhoods and communities. So it's a combination of professional business and just my own social dynamic.
So I'm hearing a desire to connect with people, hear the power this kind of brings to you. And I know we only have about a minute to go to decide whether or not you want to talk with me more. But like final on this, like this area, you know, when we think about the unique ethos of every brand and every person, think like their heart, their mission. What's the mission here though? Like if it was your last day on earth, 100 years from now, you're privileged to know it's your last day. What do you want to be remembered for? And how does this business serve that mission?
Yeah, I want to be remembered for my personality. And in my industry, it can be kind of dry. And I feel like there's opportunity for me here to be more than just what's on my business card. And it physically just kind of looks like a Word document right now. So I feel like it's missing that combination of my own personality into what it is that I do, because my personality and how I make people feel is really what I care about most.
Awesome. I'm feeling that, brother, your heart-centeredness. And just the last 20 seconds, would it be okay for me to share a little bit about me?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Yeah. My mission is to support people in finding that heart-centeredness and depth, that unique ethos that they bring to the world. And if you felt that authentically coming from me, I just ask if it'd be worth your time to spend 15 to 30 minutes exploring it more to make a decision if we're the right fit. Because I too want to work with people that are on a mission to have impact. And I feel that from you, but I'd love to see if it makes sense to get to know each other a little bit better, to see if we're the right fit. So what do you think?
Yeah, Andy, I think that sounds great. And I've seen your work too. And that's really where I'm interested, is connecting with someone that understands that, as well as can put it in a visual representation too. So, so whatever you can bring to the table to help me bring this into what people can see about me, I'd love to learn more about that.
Awesome. All right, pause. So Andy, how did that feel with me being you?
Good. Yeah, definitely felt like wearing a client's shoes. It was confusing for me, or I just kind of had to think about where they might be coming from. And again, kind of, I've never worked on a real estate project. I was kind of making up what I think the industry is kind of about. So it was difficult.
Yeah. So every single person wants more money, and or they want it in more time freedom, like less time, with more magic in their life. Every single person. Andy, do you want more money and less time with more magic?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So does everybody, right? So everybody we're connecting with, that's what they're seeking. And we listen to people at depth. We don't have to say much, right? So Michelle, how did that feel for you? And let's give a quick feedback and score for Andy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the magic of Sean Callaghy. Like that's why we're all here today, because so that we can all get that sense of love and connection when we're communicating with somebody. And Sean is the master. And it's funny that Sean stepped in. Not funny. That's, wording is everything. One of the things I was going to say is, in the middle of your conversation with Richard, you had talked about what his passion was and what excites him, and there wasn't that, like, what's your passion, like really like having that energetic transference with his passion. I think you could have really made him feel his passion, and could have taken that to this higher level where you guys were really connecting and caring, and it would have, been much more congruent with what I think your message was. I'm going to give you an 8.
Yeah.
It's 3.
Okay, awesome, Michelle. And Michelle, do you feel like a different energy in the space when we were connecting, even in a role play, in that more heart-centered way? There's an energy of heart-centeredness present. I feel when you're communicating. Do you feel it or no?
I do. There is that energy behind it, and when we're in our bodies, the other person can feel it too, even through a Zoom call.
Yeah.
When we're not there, you can still detect that. It's a strong connection, and it comes through in our tonality and our emphasis and our authenticity.
Yeah.
And being in our hearts, not our heads.
Yeah. Awesome job, Michelle. Nick, what say you, brother?
Yeah, real quick, Andy, awesome job, brother. I love you, and way to go in stepping into this. I think, just like that heart-centered place comes from, just being able to have some tonality with your voice. So shifting the tonality of your voice, and like the speed at which you deliver your words. So maybe pay attention to that. Like, oh, passion. Like, well, tell me more about what your passion is. So awesome job, brother. 8.5.
Nice. Great job, Andy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Richard, who's up next?
All right, let's call upon Tara.
Well, it just kicked me out and had to put me back in. So hopefully get through this next 3 minutes. You know what? I don't quite know how to set it up, I guess. This is the part that I've been toying with. So maybe it's just a first meeting of someone that I don't know, and I'm trying to get a second meeting for the financial life professional.
Cool. And this is a business owner or somebody who's in financial services?
A business owner.
Cool. All right. Awesome. So Richard, you're a business owner, and this is going from a first to second meeting.
Perfect. Hi there, Richard. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. Thank you, Tara.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I just wanted to reiterate why we're here, I guess. So I just wanted, do you know why we're here?
Yeah, we're kind of reviewing in regards to something about financial something.
Yeah, financial life professional. So have you ever heard of that before?
No, I have not.
No. So have you ever had a coach before?
Yes, I've had a coach before.
Yeah. So what did that coach do for you?
Well, that coach taught me how to swing the bat better, hit that ball.
There you go. So I am like that, but in regards to money. So everybody seems to, I find, get caught in the rat race with finances and lets it control you. So I help you find ways to live outside of that. Would that be something of interest?
I don't know. Talking about money makes me uncomfortable. I kind of think that people want to take it. But you had frozen in a wonderful position. So we'll see if you come back. And we'll give a couple more seconds there. 5, 4. Oh, it gets time clock. We're doing wonderful. All right.
Right. Want to move on, Richard? And
We'll do that. Thank you. All right, Tara, we're going to put you on hold. And Mr. Michel Lafleur, we're going to jump in with you, sir.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm totally new at this, but I'm going to take a swing at Nick because I understand Nick doesn't really know much about real estate. So we can kind of be firsts together here. So I guess the scenario or the client I'd like you to be, Nick, is so I'm a realtor and I work with a number of developers. I hosted an open house on the weekend on an infill duplex project that we've done. And I was kind of handing out cards and information, trying to follow up with potential investors who may want to do a bigger development, say like a 4 or 5 or 6 unit building. So you've reached out to me on the idea of, just kind of following up, and you may be interested in being that investor for us.
Awesome. I'm really honored to be here with you doing some firsts here, Michelle. So awesome.
Michelle, take us in, please.
Okay, well, thanks for the follow-up, Nick. It was great to meet you at the open house on the weekend. What did you think of the product?
Yeah, it was really, really impressed, Michelle. Beautiful complex, and it was great to connect with you and learn a little bit more about, what you have going on in the world.
Okay. Thanks for that, Nick. And in terms of the idea of going forward with a bigger development, what did you think of meeting all the neighbors at this project? What did you think of the look on their face, and how we may be able to inspire the neighborhoods for this next project?
Yeah, I saw a lot of smiles on neighbors' faces. I saw community and connection and kindness. And it made me feel like there was a sense of home and belongingness here.
Yeah, very good. And in terms of if we were to invest together in this future project, Are you local, Nick? Do you live in a neighborhood, or do you just invest in Edmonton?
Well, I'll be
in.
perfectly honest, I live in Minneapolis, but sometimes the only thing between Minnesota and Canada is a barbed wire fence in the middle of winter. So, so no, I don't live in Edmonton.
Don't live here. Okay. Well, in terms of investment, what I guess what brings you to this conversation? Are you looking for passive income? Are you looking for security, or is it really just your creative juices love what we've seen and you want to really kick it up in the next neighborhood?
Yeah, I think it would probably be just investment opportunity, trying to build out. I don't even know what a portfolio, I guess, or just having more means of income. So yeah, just trying to be a little bit more wiser and just trying to move closer to financial freedom.
Well, this sounds like it may potentially be a good fit. What I would like to do, Nick, is invite you to come meet with our family. And by family, it means spousal and my kids, but also the team that we work with. So with any of the development we do, we really want it to work for the locals. So we're going to be employing builders, but we're also putting roofs over the heads of a number of families. Would you be interested in coming back to Edmonton to walk around the neighborhood, check out the build site as to what we're looking at, and meet with one of the families who's already said that they want to live in our product?
Yeah, well, I mean, once the borders open back up, I'd be happy to come back up to Edmonton. I know we got that in before the COVID pandemic, and so yes, I mean, I'm definitely open to that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, awesome, Michelle. Great job. So excellent, Michelle. And let's drop right in with Richard. What'd you have for Michelle?
All right, Michelle, I really love the questions you had in there. In the very beginning, I love the question you had is, what did you feel about the neighborhood? And Nick really shared it going, hey, I love the community. I love the smiles, people, the kindness and everything. And that was a door that he opened up for you to enter, to say, hey, here's an opportunity to connect with my heart center. And unfortunately, what you did, it happened is you jumped into your head and asking questions from there. That would be the feedback I would have with that, but you did a wonderful job. I always love to hear you speak and present. Give you, Michelle, a wonderful 8.2.
Beautiful. Thank you, Richard. And yes, Michelle. What'd you have for Michelle?
Michelle for Michelle. What Richard said, you asked a lot of questions, and that's always important. It sounded kind of transactional in a lot of the things that you were saying. When you asked the look on the neighbors' faces, I think that was, to me, that's a point, that's an entry point where you could have really connected more from your heart and make it not sound so transactional. Nick made some joke about a barbed wire fence and was laughing, and you just like steamrolled over that right back in. You didn't, you could have acknowledged that with some more fun energy right back at him, because it's not just a love connection that we're making, it's fun connection that we're making too, and that's magnetizing as well. So I would have mirrored that, and you just kind of, like I said, steamrolled back into like your transactional conversation. Not that it was transactional. I think you're just a little bit too much in your head to make that deep connection. So I'm going to give you an 8.
Excellent work. So Richard, does that, I don't know if Tara's back, does that bring us to the conclusion of our guests?
Tara, I see your picture on there. Are you back? Are you?